Okay.
Impressions of yesterday's scrimmage?
Well, I thought it was well put together again in respects to situational football, which we continue to grow into. For the most part, we had success in those situations. Explosive play showed up again, but we had less in this scrimmage than we had experienced previously, so that was better. Impressed with our play down on the goal line, which has a lot to do with attitude right now. So again, we see progress there. So overall, I think it's an improvement. I think it still brings about, many concerns in respects to consistency of what we're doing and how we're performing. So, we've got a couple weeks here to really clean it up and put ourselves in a position to play better football.
Are your linebackers starting to catch on as far as administrating things there up front? Otherwise,
I think so. I think they're better. A lot of room still for improvement, but I see a little bit of a comfort level in respects to many of the situations. But a couple showed up again, same, without going into specifics, with the same result. So, but a couple of situations were not, the linebackers' communication fault. It's just not a good job by players not listening.
You talked about being physical. Have you seen that kind of growing as camp goes along with your guys?
I think the effort to be physical has been better. The end result still is, I think there's a lot of room to improve and get better. But as long as players are working hard to get better, and they continue to hear the same things over and over and over, they know those things are important, we'll get better. Physicality part of the game is something that I'm sure we'll be talking about all year long. We're not a real big defense once we move into the second level and safety positions. So we've got to play smart, play with leverage, and play fast to the ball. But I think we'll be talking about it again throughout the year, and we'll continue to work at it and emphasize it.
You talked about Trent Fisher getting a scholarship this week as a walk-on and what he's done so far in the camp.
Well, Trent's he's a hard worker. He brings all the characteristics that you really desire as a coach of a player. He comes to work every day. It's important to him, and it's just good to see a guy that really continued a football career because he loves the game, and to come here and impress coaches enough to earn a scholarship, I think says a lot about him as a young man. So really happy for him.
Has he got a chance to help you at safety this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I know there's been a lot of competition at defensive tackle. You, with 3 scrimmages now, start to see anybody really establish themselves on the inside?
I thought Jeff Whitaker stepped it up yesterday. I thought that he kind of separated himself from the rest of the guys. Outside of him, I would say no. I think right now we'll go into the first game and we'll play a bunch of guys there, and if somebody gets hot and is playing well, then he'll get more plays. But they're showing up here every day to compete for playing time, and it just hasn't sorted itself out like we maybe had hoped it would. But again, you've got a lot of players there that are in developmental stages, and we're trying to move the process quickly through good training in the classroom and on the field, and then certainly hoping that the competition part of it shows up in respects to their competitive nature. But it's still cloudy right now.
What did Jeff do specifically yesterday to separate himself?
He did a nice job attacking. Had some real nice charges in some short yardage situation. It showed up and was beneficial for the entire defense. But we've been in that battle kind of a read kind of style opposed to an attacking transition, and know, they're young players that have habits, they've created habits, and we're trying to break those habits, and we're just, again, too inconsistent in that understanding right now. But we'll get better. We'll get better there.
Is the safety position kind of the same way as far as anybody grabs hold of it there?
I think that Ryan and Jermaine have kind of, you know, separated themselves in respects to being able to function the entire defense. There's a lot on their plate, a lot of communication involved, a lot of recognition involved that leads to communication, and both of them have kind of been ahead of the other guys, but it's still competitive. And I think the separation of those two to the others isn't significant enough that those other guys, they're going to expect a lot of playing time and continue to compete.
Brian, we haven't heard much at all about Enrique Florence. I mean, how is he progressing? What's he doing?
Well, he hasn't been practicing lately, so he's, you know, he's falling behind. Again, young players cannot miss time when they're in the learning process. Missing valuable time like practice right now is it's difficult, very difficult for him. So hopefully he's doing a good job, you know, doing the extra things in playbook and with film. And when he's back and healthy and ready to go, then, you know, he has continued to stay up with the other guys in respects to the overall system.
He's banged up.
He's a little banged up right now. He'll be okay.
But one more. Cornerback, I know the reason didn't practice Saturday. I think it did yesterday. Is that sorting itself out?
Well, again, any time there's an injury involved to a player that's you know, been in our rotation and competing, you know, it sets that player back. So again, what's happened there is with him missing time is, you know, we've got a couple freshmen that have gotten a lot of reps, and they've had some impressive reps. They're still learning, but as a coach, the more experience a guy gets, the more you kind of trust that player. You see more responses from him that, you know, makes that whole situation again a little bit cloudy and competitive, which is a good thing. So, you know, he's got to come back out now, and he did a good job yesterday. I thought his effort on the field was outstanding, and so interesting position though as we, you know, approach a first game. So we should probably expect to see a number of guys again playing, and whoever goes out and plays well, that means more playing time.